so
Hello,
We're
welcome to episode 3 of the new season. We hope you have enjoyed the last couple, kind of like getting to know us.
Yeah.
Well, like now you have an insight into our personal life.
Yeah, a lot more about us than we've ever said before, but it's nice.
Yeah,
and much
it is.
easier to plan.
No, definitely, and like it is really good for venting and like having this to come on and like to be able to just talk to a friend about life. I think it's really good. I would recommend talking. You can see sorry, I don't know where I'm going with this. You can see from having this podcast why people say it's so important to talk to people about how you're feeling.
Yeah, just for like reference, we sat down at 10 to 1 to film this. It's 10 to 2. And we've only just clicked the record button because what we should do is like when we start the Zooms, just click record and just let people listen to that.
Yeah.
We've just been talking for an hour about our lives.
Yeah, having a catch up, especially now we don't live together anymore. We have to, but yeah,
it's necessary.
But you know what I mean? Like you can really see why people recommend venting and like chatting to people, because I feel like every time I finish recording a podcast episode, I'm like, wow. Yeah. I feel like a weight's been lifted off my shoulders.
Yeah. And then 5 minutes later I'm back to stressing again.
Yeah, me too. I've got a lot to do today actually.
Yeah, you are busy.
God.
So we'll get into it. So today we're going to be speaking about the dreaded job search as a graduate.
Yeah.
And actually, Joe, I would call us experts because between us there's probably been hundreds of applications. Yeah. So we'll just get straight into it. Okay, so the job search. We thought that it might seem obvious to some people, but we'll go back to the basics like we normally do and give you some sort of websites that we found are really good for hunting for jobs.
Yep, the ones that I've used anyway. I don't know if you know any others that I don't know, but the main ones I've been using are Indeed, obviously, because very, very useful app. But I've also started to use LinkedIn. So my boyfriend
really
told me to look for jobs on LinkedIn, and I was like, no. And then I actually did look, and I was like, okay, fair. Like
it's really good on LinkedIn.
Really good on LinkedIn. So I'd also look on there. Glassdoor.
Yeah,
is also good.
So if you don't know what Glassdoor is, it sounds like we're sponsored by them, but we're not. Honestly, please do. But basically, if you've got a job interview or you like a company, not only do they like advertise jobs on there, but it lets you like hear from what other people are saying, so that companies get rated on like their work-life balance, they get rated on like their CEO, they get rated on their like employee retention, everything. And you can see like reviews from employees, and not only that, but you can see interview questions for the specific that you're applying for, like have an interview for,
which is so good, like because the majority of because you can also see the dates when they were posted. So let's say like someone did the interview like a week before you kind of know that you're gonna be asked a similar thing, so it can help you like prep.
It's so good for prep. And it says like at the top, it says whether they were offered the job, how long it took, whether they got a second interview. Like it says all the job process of everything, and that is so helpful because you can prepare so much better and you feel more confident going into an interview. So definitely 100%.
Do you know any more?
I think what is really important for jobs, and it's not always ideal, but like word of mouth. So that's how I got like a lot of my jobs when I was younger, like people knowing people. It, like, you know, people say like it's not about what you know but who you know, because I think everyone on a CV, like everyone these days, to be honest, has got some kind of GCSEs, A-levels, degrees, or like college qualifications.
Yeah,
but like stand you out from the rest. Like on a CV, everyone's going to say that they're very likable and sociable and hardworking, but once you get like someone else telling that person that, like vouching for your character, is really helpful. Obviously that's not always ideal, but that is pretty good if you can do.
I mean, it makes sense, doesn't it? It makes sense because they've actually met them, so rather than a piece of paper.
Yeah, exactly. So that's always good. But yeah, I can't think of any other websites, but we'll link all the websites that we've said below because they're we found the most useful. So
I feel like they are, because they allow you to type in like keywords of the jobs you're interested in and where you want to look. So that's why they're so good. Like, gone are the days of getting a newspaper and like looking at that. Do you know what I mean?
I don't think that they were ever our days, were they?
No.
Indeed and stuff like that, they're so good because, like Ellie said, you can like set like even sometimes your salary, like at what like degree level, like what qualifications you have, and it can like really narrow down your focus if you're just looking. Okay, so not that we're any expert on CVs, but we thought we'd give you a little bit of like what we've learned about CVs. I think less is more. I definitely used to want to make it really like pretty, but sometimes just like less is more.
Yeah.
There is this website called CV Library, and you send in like your CV and they give you like a free, someone reads through it and tells you what's good about it and what's bad about it.
I've never used that. That's been hiding from me.
Really good. So I sent mine off the other day and they came back and said like a lot of my things are like kind of telling them like the skills that I've got. So like, when I was a sales assistant, I learned how to like deal with people and stuff, as opposed to like telling them like my achievements. So like the example was like saying that you sold so many outfits, and so like something that will make the employer be like, oh wow, she would definitely like improve our business. Because I think by sort of, obviously you have to say like the skills, but don't just do like, I've got good people skills, but say like a time when that you did something really good. So like that's what it said for me. Like mine, I didn't have enough like achievements. I was more just like saying what skills I'd got.
Yeah. So how I broke mine up was, I feel like education's like just always first. Like I don't really know what I like, but my degree is first, obviously. Like and then my other educational qualifications, and then I did job experience. But then after each job I've done, and like the dates of when I worked them to and from, what that job taught me, what that job role was, and like situations I dealt with in that job. So like after the job I put situation and the achievements from that job. So like that's a good way to do it, I feel like, maybe. And then I did like my leisure activity, like things I like to do just as a person. And then I did my like volunteering and achievement section, so because I've done a few bits like that. But I think that's quite a good way to break it down. So when you talk about the job, just bullet point under the job what that taught you and what you did. And like, because I think, because I've worked at a petrol station, one of my things was like was able to stop crime, like drive-offs and stuff. Also, not gonna lie, like sensationalize it, like literally be like,
100%.
Oh my god, I literally stopped crime happen on the forecourt, like
with and they're my like, bare wow, hands.
Yeah. Just,
I don't know about you, but on a lot of like that CV library and stuff like that, they like a lot of people recommend like one page.
People don't want to be faffing through like
one page, like
things.
Literally just this is what I've done, this is who I am. One page, simple, better is. And also on Word and things like that, Canva, they have CVs like templates, so they're quite good. So Word has like this thing called like CV Assist or something, so it kind of helps you write your CV. So using things like that is always good. But I definitely would recommend like going on Google and just sort of like looking through some examples of what people have put, templates.
Also, like, don't put a picture of you on, don't put references on, none of that is used on a CV. They say no to that. Literally don't try and make it pretty, just literally put on an A4 page on Word about you. They do not have time. They want it to be easy to read. They want it to be straightforward. They must go through CV after CV after CV. So just literally make them bossy. Another key point I am going to make is, if you're applying for a job, if you're on Indeed and you've uploaded your CV, and then the next thing says optional cover letter. So you have the option to write a cover letter. If you don't know what a cover letter is, it is a chance for you to write like another sort of A4 page, just kind of like why you think you are good for this specific role. This specific job. What you think you could bring to the job. So it's a bit more personal than a CV. It's more like, it's a bit of an essay about you. If they give you the option to do one of those, then do it.
100%.
Sometimes people will say you have to do one, attach cover letter here. So if that's what it says, then you have to do one. If it's optional, then do it. Because I think for me, that has been the difference in not getting interview offers and getting interview offers.
100%.
So, because if you think about it, like Kez said, like a CV literally is just becoming, like all of our CVs are becoming so similar. Like we've all done extracurricular, we've all done school, like everything's getting quite similar now. But in your cover letter, it just gives you this chance to just be able to be like, right, I am the best person for you because, and you can just smash out. And it's just a really great opportunity. So definitely do one of those.
It is the difference. It 100% is the difference.
It 100% must be the difference, because they would not ask you to do one.
No.
So,
and it shows that you're not just applying because you just think, oh, I need a job and I'll apply to anything. It shows that you want that job because you've taken an hour out of your day to write the cover letter.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so now we're going to talk to you about the reality of job application.
You sounded like when you sit down, have like the sex talk. So now,
okay, I'm not going to give you that kind of chat, but I'm going to give you the reality of this job application process, because you probably just made it sound quite easy. Just go on Indeed, just apply for some jobs, when actually it's not. It's, I think you expect, like I thought, oh, it's okay, I'll just bash out like 10 applications in one day. No, you'd be lucky if you actually get one off. They take so long, like unbelievably long, like, because it's not just the case of submitting your CV and then, like I said, if you have to do a cover letter, it's not just an hour, because when you actually, like the majority of the time when you apply through websites, you have to fill out what they want you to fill out, which is like your details. They sometimes want you to fill out all your education on the website.
That is my pet peeve, when they ask for your CV and then they ask you to put your CV into like, what is your relevant work experience, what is your education, you have to put in each GCSE, and I'm like, it's literally all on my CV.
So a lot of the time, the majority of places ask you for your CV at the start, and you're like, great, next page, name, like telephone number, school, education history, job experience, like you have to skills, like, and then you have to do the cover letter, and then so just like be prepared that an application is probably going to take you like at least, I don't even know, 2 hours plus, like fully get one done, because they are a lot. And if you think about it, if you're applying for different kinds of jobs, you're going to have to change your cover letter. So I just don't expect to be able to apply for like 10 jobs in one day, because it's not really gonna happen.
I also think, without being dramatic, applying for jobs is like soul destroying, because not only do you spend 2 hours, you write a cover letter, you've input all your details in, you've made a CV which you send off, you get a reply the next day saying, unfortunately, your application has been unsuccessful, and they keep coming.
And they keep coming, and they keep coming, and and the rejection emails just keep coming, unfortunately.
And so like it is soul destroying, because you think, like, for a start you think, why am I not good enough, why this, why that, and then it's annoying, you don't even get a chance to have an interview. And even if you do get an interview and then you don't get it, you think, oh, all of that time, it's like a lot of time, it's very time consuming.
It is very time consuming.
It's very hard when you don't get it and you've put a lot of effort in. But we just kind of want to say, like, the right job will like eventually come to you and you'll get it. And like, I just think what we were saying in like the 21 questions, like everything happens for a reason, and like don't let it put you off when you get a few rejection letters, because you just have to get used to it.
No, and you do, when you speak to people who are in the same boat or have been in the same boat, and they all say the same thing, like, unfortunately, you're just not going to get all these jobs, like it's just not going to happen, like it's not fair. I know, like I know that it's not fair. I hate it. I think it's really annoying, but it is unfortunately reality, like, because if you think about it, these people are getting applicants through all the time, they're getting people applying all the time, there's just looking at the CV, and I actually think as well, the majority of the time they don't even look at your CV.
Like,
I actually think that they just a computer scans it and the computer's like, no, and bam.
Yeah.
Because I have applied for a job recently. I sent an application off like past 5 p.m. Woke up in the morning, 8 a.m. to an email from the company like, we've read your CV. No.
Yeah. And
I
it's
was like,
have you though? Really?
Have you? Because I submitted it after 5 and it's not even 9 a.m.
Yeah.
So unless you're a 24-hour company, which I know for a fact they weren't, they obviously, a computer's obviously just been like, no, and they've been like, no, and a generated emails just come back. So you just can't even deep it. Like you can't even like take it personally because it's not you. It's just life.
Yeah. I'd also recommend, like, if you do get through to an interview stage and then don't get it after that, asking for like feedback, because they are like, I don't know if they're obliged to, but most companies will give you feedback on like what they liked about you, why you weren't successful, like what other experience you could have for maybe different roles, like what they were looking for. And it's good to get that insight into what they're looking for to like take on to previous job applications. No, not previous, to take on to like the next job application.
No, exactly. Like, and yeah, like you said, like unfortunately there are going to be people more experienced than you, and that's just life. Like, unfortunately, that's just the case, you know. And that's
and it's so annoying. It's so irritating actually applying for jobs sometimes, and it being like, you have to have a degree, 3 A levels, 9 GCSEs. You have to be, and it's a graduate scheme, and they'll be like, you have to have 3 years experience in this industry, 1 year experience in this industry. And I'm like, how?
Yeah, like why? Like, how do you expect like people to have done that? And actually you have to think like, do you actually even really want to be working for a company that does expect you to do all that? Like, no.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, yeah, I think it's just annoying.
I think what you also have to remember, like when you're doing the job search, is like, I think sometimes if you've had a few knocks, you can then become like, when someone does say yes, you're like so excited and you want to go for it, but actually like, do you want to work for them is so important. Like, yeah, obviously, like you can't just like, you can't chuck away things, but just make sure that they're the right company for you, like you align with their values and it works for you, and not just like you're interviewing them at the same time. Like you want to work for them just as much as they want you to work for them. Do you know what I mean?
No, definitely. Like,
it has to be like mutual.
They've got to fit into like your life, and like it has to be the right job, otherwise you're just going to be miserable. So actually sometimes I think companies do you a favor by not accepting you.
That's what I'm saying. Like when everything happens for a reason, like you have to like actually think, is that something that I wanted? Because when you think of it like that, it does make you feel a lot better about the job search, when a company like would decline you without even looking at your CV, and you actually then might look into their company and think, that was not even the job for me anyway.
No. So there's also, I'm guilty of this. If you are a new grad applying for manager roles,
it's literally me,
is you kind of, you are signing yourself up to just get another rejection email. So really think about whether
exactly,
like people tell you apply for everything, like just apply, see it, but actually also be a bit realistic, because I've not been realistic and then I like cry when I get rejected, but like it's obvious because I'm literally 21 and I'm just graduated, so
with no managerial experience, and we're like,
I'm not going to be given them? But it is hard, it's tiring, it's long, but everyone's done it. Like you probably know people who are in amazing jobs now and they were rejected at the start. Like you just got to keep persevering, keep doing it. Also, I think be organized with it. If you know you want to have a job in September, get applying early. So that's our advice for what we've learned so far. We'll keep you updated, but that's what we know that we would do differently next time if we were,
that's what I wanted someone to tell me, and I think that's like the whole premise of the podcast, is like what we wish we knew. Literally at this point, when we started the podcast, it was what we wish we knew 3 years ago starting uni, and now we're literally saying what we wish we knew 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, we hope that helps. We hope when you're job hunting, our advice will
it's a good starting point. We've given you some starting websites, some useful websites we found, Glassdoor, CV Library, some little good ones.
I'm going to use that one, so it's been a learning day for me too.
I'll send it to you, but we'll link them all at the bottom. But thanks for listening to our tips, even though we need to take the tips ourselves.
Very true.
And that is it. Another episode finitoed.
Another week of hearing about how things are going with us, and
we didn't really update you, but maybe we'll save that for.
There's not really much to say, is there?
There isn't. Yeah, still same situations. Next week's episode is going to be all about graduation. What to expect.
Yeah, when you hear from us next, we would have
graduated.
Like fully, like the cap and gown moment.
Mm-hmm. There will be photos on the best wishes of me and Ellie. You'll see it.
There will.
And probably our own Instagrams. I still don't have a dress. It's on Thursday. We're recording this as of Friday. The dress I've ordered is in China, so that's really good. From Cider, if anyone's ever ordered from there, it's really ideal.
So Kez is currently going with just the cap and gown.
Yeah,
and nothing else.
Nothing else. Just a nude, just my nude.
But yeah, keep your eyes peeled because you'll see which one she goes for.
Yeah, you'll see which dress. Well, they're not going to know whether it's the Cider dress or not, but I'll tell you next week. But we thought graduation episode would be a good idea. We'll talk about our day, how much fun we had, but more just the fact that right now I don't know what to expect, and I would find it quite useful to be able to listen to like what to expect, like even to like how you walk up, like what side you put the tassel on. I don't know, anything like
and whether you like bow or like do what. Like it's sort of a bit weird.
So we're gonna talk you through that.
Fill you in with that next week. But yeah, I hope you guys are good, and I hope you listen again next week to the
good luck in the job search.
Good luck if you are job hunting, and we hope our advice has helped.
Love you guys.
See you next week. Bye.
Hi guys.
What? You know what to say?
You're just like scared.
I've got stage fright.
Yeah. Too many interviews.
Yeah, right. Tired of talking for once. Right, go.